Hi everyone, and welcome to Let's Win, where you'll receive God-filled encouragement that will help you live and lead the victory mindset. Over the past few days, I've just really been reminded of the motion that God has put into play in our world, in creation, in everything around us. I'm looking at the flowers, looking at the change of season, looking at the storms and the rains and the weather changing, and I'm just thinking of how God has, from the beginning of time, put things in motion that are still in motion, that are still at work all around us, within us. I think of the very first breath that God has breathed into Adam, breathed into Eve. That very breath is still within each one of us. Isn't that amazing? I think of the biological processes that is put into human beings that are still at work today. I think of the very first seeds, the very first seed that fell to the ground and sprouted forth a tree bearing fruit that can still be eaten and absorbed and experienced up to this day, thousands and thousands of years later, generation after generation, and how what God puts into motion, we cannot stop. No power of man can stop that which God has ordained and which God has put into movement and into motion, and how those things with time gain momentum. I've been just so aware of it, and the Lord's been speaking to me through that, and encouraging me with this, how great He is, that He is the author of our life, but He's also the finisher. He's at the beginning, but He's also at the end. He's the Alpha and the Omega, the Bible says. And what He has put into motion, He knows the path forward. He knows what is ahead, and He's there already. Isn't that just so amazing? I think of the motion that begins with the very first heartbeat of a life. That heart that is beating, that very first beat, and how it just continues and continues and continues throughout our lives, that which He started. In science, we speak a lot about the term potential energy. And I've been reminded of the term, the potential energy of something. It speaks of the energy that is held within something that is not yet been released. The energy to perform a specific task, to perform a work, to perform that which it is designed to. The very typical example that we always learned at school was if you pull an elastic band apart, and once you've pulled it, that moment before you released it, you speak of the potential energy inside of this elastic band, energy to have motion or have heat or whatever it might be. You can think about those little cars that you pull back and you play with your kids. As you pull that thing back and you hold it down before you release it, this little car has the potential energy for motion, for movement. If you think about within our bodies, our cells, the potential energy inside of each cell to perform energy. It has the energy to create energy, ATP, whatever it is that our body needs to perform an action. And it's just so incredible if you think about that term, potential energy. We can liken it to that which God puts inside of our lives. Within each one of us, He has placed a seed or placed a gift, something special within each one of us, the potential to perform something great, to do an amazing work. And what's more incredible is we speak about the power of God that is at work inside each and every one of us. And that power, love, what God's power, it's love, it's his goodness, it's His joy that is that is at work inside of us, has this potential to do something great, to release something great through each and every one of us. If you will bear with me for a few more minutes, I want to carry on with this whole science picture. And those of you who don't switch off, this is just a fun way to remember what you carry inside each and every one of us. I think about atoms. Now, if you've done science or somewhere you've touched it in your life, you would have learned all about atoms and how everything is made up of atoms. Every substance is made up of atoms, and atoms are always at motion. They're always moving. Some move fast, some move slow. And what happens when one little atom bumps into another atom? It can excite this other atom. It energizes the other atom. And sometimes you even have this little electron that jumps over to the other atom. And they speak about an excited atom. That is when one bumps into the other one. And I just love this picture of how when we carry God's presence, when we carry God's power, and when His power is at work inside of us, and we interact with people around us, we rub shoulders with people around us, we get to energize someone else with the power of God. We get to excite them with the power of God, with that which He has put inside each and every one of us. Isn't that an amazing picture? God's power is at work inside of our lives, and we carry this potential energy to touch and change someone else's life in a profound way. I just love that picture. My encouragement this morning is short and simple. Recognize the potential energy that God has put inside of you, inside each and every one of us. God's power, His love, His fullness, His joy, His peace, that which He has put inside of you. Recognize the seeds and the gifts that are stored up within you, waiting to be released. What has He put inside of you, and how has He called you to release that which is stored in you? Ask yourself the question, am I perhaps delaying what God has put into motion? Am I perhaps holding back because of fear or distraction or being preoccupied with something else? Is there something in me that is waiting to release? It's like that elastic that is stretching like this. And sometimes that's what we're going through. We're going through stretching moments. And He's saying, release. There is something inside of you that someone else around you needs to experience. Is the Lord wanting to release something to others through my life? Ask yourself that question. I've got a challenge for us this week. Will you treat every interaction like you're an atom, bumping off someone else, energizing that other person, building them up, encouraging them up, energizing that person with the love of God, with the power of God inside of you? Treat every interaction, every little bump of a molecule like you have something to give. Do not delay what the Lord wants to release to others through your life. Let's be children of God that say, here I am, Lord, use me. Friends, I hope this has encouraged you. I hope this has given you that permission to release that which the Lord has put inside of you. Do not hold back. Do not delay what the Lord has put into motion. Let's win. Let's win together today and in the rest of this week. Bless you.